All right. No Aimer Gamer Podcast, episode 1.
No Aimer Gamer Podcast, episode 1. You got two goofy fucking content creators here, all right? And we're going to be talking about some goofy ass content creation, I got to say. All right? So, I'm not going to introduce my goofy ass just yet. We're going to slide it out on over to DJ over here. And he's going to give you the lowdown about what he does. DJ, take it for me real quick.
All right, what's good, y'all? I'm DJ Z, aka Degenarius the 15th, aka Denarian J Lily Squad, aka D Twillicus J Mondo
All of them.
5th. All them.
Put some respect on his name.
You can find me at twitch.tv, or you can find me on Twitch and also on Twitter at DJZ_. Hit your boy up with a follow. Greatly appreciate it.
Links will be in the bio. Don't worry about it.
Of course.
Yazerski.
All right. Who are you? Haste, who are you?
I don't know who I am. I could be anybody. I could be the Ghosts of Christmas Past. I could be, some people call me Casper. I'm Tony Mad Boney, skinniest motherfucker in the Bronx to ever do it. All right, let's get that straighted out. Okay. But yes, I am from the Bronx. You probably have already realized from the accent, but you know what it is. I am a content creator. I do stream on Twitch. Twitch.tv/GreaterHaste. You know what it is. I'm on Twitter
as well.
Instagram, TikTok. We on TikTok heavy, by the way. Shout out to community on TikTok with the 2.5K followers. You already know what that is. I had to throw that. I had to toot my own horn for a little bit.
All the ads, Greater Haste, by the way. All socials, Greater Haste.
All socials. We got that clean, even though I wish it could just be Haste, because no one fucking calls me Greater Haste. Like
that's so weird. That sounds so weird to call you that though, for real.
Like, when you go into a chat for the first time, you would think like, okay, like greater is like what, like an adjective, right?
Yes.
Right? I got
like
that right.
Superlative. It's a superlative.
Okay, so you're smarter than me, because I don't even remember what that word means. But it's like the name is Haste. It's just the Greater Haste, right? So you would call me Greater. No, these motherfuckers, I'd be walking in somebody's chat and they'd be like, "Yo, what up, Greater?" Like, I'm just like, I at this point, I want to dip. I want to dip. This motherfucker right here, would be a motherfucker to call me Greater. Like, yo, what up, Greater? Fucking don't look at me, you dumb fuck. That's why your eyes is two colors. Anyways, okay, yeah, all the socials is Greater Haste. I would prefer people call me Haste. You see the cursor right here. You see the name on the thing. You see that right there? It says Haste. I swear to God, somebody gonna go in the comment section and be like, "Yo, that dude Greater, that guy Greater,
stupid,
dummy." But yeah, I go heavy on TikTok. We try to go crazy on YouTube Shorts. We try to go crazy on pretty much everything. We try to do crazy on everything. And community is a big thing for me. I again grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in a whole bunch of culture. Grew up with sneaker culture. You see that shit behind me? I have too much of those. And everything that comes with it. But you know what? The home is right here, man. Content creation. That's what it is, and that's what we do. We content creators, and that's the thing that I have fallen in love with. Over the past I don't know, 7-8 years.
So let me ask you this: what got you? What inspired you to start creating content? What was, like, if you could point to one singular thing, what was the one thing that inspired you?
It was honestly the very, very, very earliest. Kind of just at first glance, I just kind of thought this thing was dope. Didn't really think I would like want to get into it or anything, but when I started to get into the deeper world of gaming, and this is when I was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. A bunch of buddies of mine had the idea of going and playing GBs.
Oh,
And for
okay.
those who don't know what that is, GB's is
Game battles.
game battles.
GameBattles.com. Still actually active
Yep.
to this day.
Yeah. So
I
Modern
love
Warfare
GB.
2, we decided to talk about it. It was like, yo, let's get into that. And then I for one started to do research. So I would go online and I started looking up like videos and like these guys are doing crazy things on COD, right? Crazy things on Call of Duty. And that's kind of like the first kind of taste that I had of it.
Okay.
Then flash forward all the fuck the way to 2013, 2014, right? Destiny comes out.
Oh, yep.
This is the game that started everything.
Yeah, for
Destiny
like a lot of
for a
people,
lot
for
of
real.
people. And to keep it a buck, right? I'm a big like shit. If shit didn't happen the way that it happened, it wouldn't have happened any other fucking way. Like if I
Oh
wouldn't have
yeah,
had started playing Destiny and met the people that I had met along the road, you and I would not be having this conversation doing this here right now.
it's crazy. You know what's funny is like the path that I took to get to where I am
Mm-hmm.
currently. So it's crazy.
It's wild.
So it's so wild. So aside from that, so like what
I
is
didn't
it
even
about?
finish.
Oh shit,
I didn't even
you still
finish. I
going?
didn't even get to
Go
my
ahead.
point. I have a
Go.
knack for like telling a story and getting to my point, and the point I can get to the point in like 2 seconds, right? But I got into Destiny.
Yeah.
Destiny within World of Destiny, I got introduced to Twitch because of that. A couple of my boys decided to start a carry service for Trials when Trials came out.
Okay.
Before this all happened, I was watching, like the goats. I was watching Real Crafty. I was watching Gathalion. Those are the two most memorable that I would watch from the D1 days. Lupo, the fucking mouse and keyboard on fucking on console. Like all this shit was just nutty to me. The things that
Yeah.
people were doing, and it's just like, wow, this is awesome. So then two of my closest friends, when Trials dropped, they decided to get into a carry service, and then that's when everything kind of kicked off for me. I was like, you know what, they're doing this. I want to do it too. I want to be a part of the action, and streaming was the first thing that I got into, and I could expand on that, but that's what got me into it. That's
Okay.
what started everything for me. So like again, I'm gonna throw that same question right back to you. Like people want to know the
What got
background.
me?
They want to know where DJ comes from. Please let them know. Let them know. Talk
So
about
what
it.
got me? So what got me into streaming? Well, content creation in general. So what got me into content creation was I was like 14, 15, 14, 13, 14, somewhere
Mm-hmm.
around there. I was in like middle school. Um, and I was big into Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
That
Funny
was
how everything starts with COD,
a
right?
lot of right.
Starts with COD.
A lot of what I was doing, like a lot of my friends were playing Call of Duty like from middle school. So like every day I would go home, play Call, get on my 360, get on Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what that was at. That was like the routine basically. And then I was on YouTube a lot. I mean a lot. I'm still on
Yep.
YouTube a ton.
Yep.
Um, and
100%.
what I used to watch all the time on YouTube was the old like the old ill cams.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I discovered Logic for the first time was because of those ill cams.
No shot for real.
Yep, I heard
Crazy.
what was the first song I heard of Logic's? It's gonna come to me later. But that's first heard Logic on ill cams. I first heard Hoodie Allen, No Interruption on ill cams. I forget which episode it was. I'll find it later, but Hoodie Allen and Logic the first time I heard those artists were on ill cams, and I was like, "Yo, these montages are lit as fuck. Like, I want to do that."
Okay.
So that wasn't what inspired me to like create content. That's what inspired me to get into sniper teams and
Okay.
try to attempt to do all this shit. That didn't work out. Did that for like a year or
It
two.
doesn't always do
Never
it.
worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Never got off the ground for me, and I'm okay with that because honestly, wasn't not meant for me.
I mean, put it
And
this way:
that's
if you never did it, you wouldn't have known that it wasn't something that you was gonna pan
exactly
out. So you couldn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like not move, like you
like
wouldn't be able to move forward, type shit.
I ain't even gonna hold you. Sniping, mad fun. That's definitely like the most fun part of the game to me was
Yeah.
sniping.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't really big into the GB scene. Like
Yeah.
I did that for a little bit, just not my forte.
Yeah. Wasn't mine either.
But yeah, like I was good enough to like, I was, it was like it just wasn't my thing. I'm
Yeah.
an ultra competitive person, but not in I'm not I kind of I fold under pressure, man. That's just I don't have
It's
the
not
trust
for
factor.
everybody. It's not for everybody,
Um,
and a
yeah.
lot of things aren't. But we'll get deeper into that
We
later.
can, yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So I started making like when I got so I still had a 360. I had no laptop. I didn't have like a Dazzle or
Mm-hmm.
any sort of capture card. So I couldn't record shit.
Yeah,
I couldn't do anything about it. It didn't matter what I did. The only thing I could do was just record, like stuff for theater, and then just that was that.
yeah.
So the first real opportunity I had to make any sort of attempt at making content was when I got my Xbox One. That was in I'll say 15. Yeah, 2014, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
When the year Advanced Warfare came out.
Oof.
Rough year, right?
Rough, bro.
Rough,
Rough.
rough year.
You say that name and it's
Um,
automatically like, "Ugh."
rough year for Call of Duty for sure, at least in the casual sense.
Mm-hmm.
Competitive, it was a very cool year. But that was like the first chance I had to make any content. I didn't make any videos that year, as far as I know. I did record some stuff because the DVR feature was like brand new for a console, so I obviously like fucked around with that, took advantage of
Yeah.
it. Not to its not to its fullest extent for sure. But it wasn't until when Black Ops 3 came out was when I started like, okay, let me see what I can do. So
But
the first I have a video on my YouTube channel. It is private. You'll never find it. Thank God. Never. You fuckers ain't seeing it.
yeah, we can't see that. We can't show that. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
we cannot see that. I do not want to
Mm-mm.
hear myself at 16 years old. I can't do
Ugh.
it. It's rough. And I'm 22, just for a reference. This was Black Ops 3. It was like New Year's Eve was the first video that was like of my voice, all of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was like some Black Ops 3 gameplay and then some Halo 5 clips. Like, mm,
You just look back at it and it's just like, damn, that's raw.
it is rough. It
Rough.
is
Raw,
rough.
rough, like fucking with no lube, no condom, no nothing, just nasty. Just
Grimy.
it's just
Grimy.
nah. It's just nah.
It wasn't working for me. It wasn't buttering
Oh
my
shit.
biscuit. I
Oh
tried to
no.
watch it
The
on
butter.
stream the other. Nah, for real though. Like I tried to listen to myself. I'm like, I think I remember what I was trying to talk about in this video. I never got to the point
Listen,
though.
even to this day, making content, I roll the shit back, like rolling the footage back and looking at me just talk. Sometimes I'm just like, damn, I need to shut the fuck up. I need to shut up. I hate the way I fucking sound sometimes. I think it's just a thing because I know I'm not alone in this,
It's a
right?
mental
I'm not
thing.
alone in that.
I hate the way I sound too. I feel like I talk about nothing all the time. And I feel like I be just saying nothing just to say nothing.
Yeah, you're just rambling like fucking Pac-Man,
Like,
fucking jabbing, bro. Just
yeah, just like
yapping them fucking jaws. Don't ever shut the fuck up. But you know what?
for
That's a
real.
good. In this realm, it's a good thing to have when you don't stop yapping. You just keep talking because then you can't be like something gonna slip out your mouth and then it's gonna catch the listeners' ears and they're gonna be like,
What do you say? What did he say?
You're either
Yeah,
gonna get
for
one of
real.
those or they're gonna be
Yep.
like, oh, maybe I should talk to this guy.
Yeah, let me keep listening. But
Exactly.
no, but no, like that was so the first video on my YouTube channel was from New Year's Eve of 2015.
Mhm.
And that was sort of the genesis of my content creation. I didn't really do it for long. I did it on and off for about 2 months. I uploaded like 3 videos,
Mhm.
and then I uploaded again in like July of the next year, and then I didn't upload for like 5 years. Um, the next video I uploaded was like 5 months ago, 6 months ago almost now,
Okay.
and it has not YouTube is not for me. Just not
YouTube's
for
not for
me.
you.
It's not my
I
thing.
mean,
Like, I like it. It's a great platform. I want to do it because it's fun to see, like, because I'm a more behind the scenes person.
okay,
I'm not the biggest fan of being, like, at the forefront of something,
at the forefront. I can relate to
but
this a lot.
I'm always at the forefront
Okay.
because of my it's because of my stature. It's because of my stature and, like, and my personality, even though it's like I portray my like, I have this portrayal of, like, a big personality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that shit at all, but it's just how it happened.
But is that you authentically?
Yeah.
Amen.
I'm
See,
goofy as I'm goofy. I have a big personality. I just don't like when people put me at the forefront
okay,
of whatever it
okay.
is.
So now we're gonna unpack this, right? Because the whole reason for this topic is to explore the difficulties of content creation, the mental difficulties, the things that people don't normally see behind the scenes. And that's coming from people who like are not necessarily at the tippity top of
No,
the spectrum. Like we ain't no damn ninja
no
or
Lupo
no
or Tifu,
Lupo or
none of that shit.
Tifu. We're not those big guys. You know, there's we're not no lyric or none of those guys, right? But I feel like people who are trying to work their way into this kind of business, doing this kind of thing because you genuinely love to do it, or whatever your reasons may be, um, there's a lot of things that I've learned, and I feel like we've both learned that we necessarily could have never known from the outside looking in when you got started.
Oh no.
And it's funny, like you mentioned that, like, about personality, about being not being wanting to be in the forefront, about maybe like preferring to be more in the back, but you have this big personality. You just like, correct me if I'm wrong, don't want that to be shown so
I
brightly.
I'm not so much a fan of attention.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Okay.
But but being being the kind of person that I am and not liking the attention so much,
Hmm.
but wanting to be a shining star of sorts for people to come to, you know, for like solace and to, just to make their day just a little bit better.
I get what you're coming from. Yeah.
Like that's more why I want to like I guess like that's more of why I do this. It's not so much for the attention
You want to be
or the
the guy
recognition.
in the back, with the beacon of support that can, uplift.
Yeah,
Is that what you're coming from?
I wanna
Mhm.
be what Dr. Lupo is.
Okay.
That is what I strive to do.
Well, that guy's in the limelight though. That guy's like in the forefront of almost everything.
He is, but, like, I don't want, like, necessarily the limelight that he has. I want to do what he is doing,
Hmm.
supporting all the charity, like, just being the light
Yeah.
for a lot of people. That's
Got you.
being the person that he is,
Yeah. Because Lupo's a I mean,
a
again, I'll just
wonderful
comment
human
it
being.
grand act, right?
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes along the way, and granted, we all do, but Lupo has always tried to be on the right side of things since day one. I mean, I can't off the top of my head pick a situation where, like, we've been like, no, fuck Lupo. Like,
No,
never,
never,
never.
never.
But I want to expand on that, right? Because it's an awesome thing that you bring this up, because when I was in when I was working at my previous job at this sneaker retailer, I was the operations manager, and in that company, that was a top tier position. Like, that was
Mhm.
like top 5 at least positions in that entire company. So I knew the ins and outs. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
as close as I could get to the top, and as far away from the bottom as I could get. And I worked from the bottom to get to that spot. So I knew everything.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was very interesting to see that this will relate to content creation after I'm finished with this, but
I'm sure.
it's you had me going into the business as a stock worker, and I would always look at my manager, right? And the manager in my store would always was obviously the person that was always getting paid the most money. And when you look at this guy and the things that I visibly saw him do on a daily basis, I I mean, the dude was standing in front of the store. He would leave the store whenever the fuck he wanted to. He would come back. He would have he would have like a lunch whenever the fuck he wanted. He was always on his phone. He was always talking to people, laughing, joking. These were all things that as the person that I was employed at that company, I couldn't do that in my position. I couldn't do any of those things at all. I would get in trouble for doing those things, as a matter of fact. So I'm over here like I'm doing 3 times the amount of work that this fucker's doing, but he's getting paid 3 times as more than me. Why? I'm confused. I'm severely confused. So then again, it wasn't my curiosity, but rather my natural ability to say like, okay, I just, if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to spend 10 hours here a day, I'm going to make it work. So I worked my ass off, and I eventually got up to being a manager, take my own store, and then realized what the fuck these people go through. It's insane.
On a daily, yeah.
On a daily, like, it's a lot of responsibility. A lot of responsibility. So now I understood better. Now, relating this to content creation, it's when you dive in, right? I like me looking at things, I was like, all right, it's not so much content creation, but there's streamers, right? You got people who are just streaming, and they're just, they're making money streaming video games. A lot of money, right? Granted, these people have a lot of people watching them, but it's like, you never really know the know-how, especially in the early days of like when Destiny 1 came out, 2014, everything was kind of like slowly gaining traction. Like it was blossoming. Like the video game culture was going crazy at that time, but I feel like we were just getting started.
Yeah.
To like, definitely. Compared to like where we at now, it was just, we were in building blocks, right? Yeah. And,
not to mention also, a lot of these bigger streamers, a lot of them have like just teams of people that are helping take care of a lot of the other stuff outside of streaming, so they don't have to worry about it. Like they have editing teams, they have people that take care of the social medias, all of that stuff. A lot of and a lot of smaller creators are doing this shit by ourselves. We don't have those big teams of people.
It's another thing
to help take care of stuff for us. Yeah, we have to do it on our own.
That is another thing that people don't realize, and again, we're gonna definitely expand on that, because it's like you think about things as like streaming is like the first thing you do, right? Because that's the first thing that everyone sees. It's the live stream. It's like, this is where the creator is. This is what the creator does. They're playing the video game. The people are subbing. There's a lot going on. It's an attraction. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And they're thinking, oh, if they can do this, I can do this. And I'm like, hey, you're not wrong. Go ahead and go off. But you do it for 6 months and you got nobody watching you. You're wondering why. What is happening? And the answer is simple. There's something that you're not doing that others are doing. How did they get to that point, right? And it could be for a number of different reasons, right? There were certain creators that were doing things before Twitch was even a thing, right? They were YouTubers. Even before that, they were doing work within the industry that just translated over, right?
Dr. Disrespect, for example.
Doc did
He was a map designer for Sledgehammer Games.
For Sledgehammer, right? I was gonna say Treyarch. I would have been wrong there, but he was a map designer. So that just automatically like translates over, and then he just adds like the personality and just you know what it is.
The whole character, yeah.
The whole character is just insane. But that's it, right? And so it's like you're wondering, what am I not doing? Do I have to do something over the top like the doc? Do I have to do something helpful to a community to attract people to come and watch me, like service streams, like what Destiny 1 was when Trials of Osiris was out every weekend? Like, what do I do, right, to allow myself to connect and to grow and to try to like get into this, right? And it's
the answer is whatever you can do, whatever the fuck you want.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
You can. There's always an audience for everything. But there's a caveat to that. Always.
And that being, it's just like a lot of people just think that it's just Twitch. You can go on Twitch, do whatever, and you just gain attraction. No, I have, and the thing is that I've learned this a lot more in depth over the last year, 2 years maybe. I've been streaming since 2015, and I've only been streaming on and off from 2015 to say 2020, right? Like it would be like maybe I come home from work, 3-4 hours a night, wrap it up, rinse and repeat the next day. And it was just only streaming, and then I would never gain any traction because it was just that. What people don't realize is that Twitch is the end game, right? And
it's never the start point.
It's never the starting point. And for almost everyone, right? And I don't want to generalize things, right? I hate generalizing things. Somebody's gonna come in the comments and be like, you don't fucking know shit. You know what the fuck you talking about? Like, you have no fucking clue. I got here, I was on this, and I did this, and did it, whatever. But listen.
Here's the thing: is we know. Trust me.
We know. I've been through it, right? I may not have enough experience as the big cats, right? So big cats come into this shit and start talking some shit. Listen, I'm all ears because I want to learn too. But if take it from me, I did 5 years streaming on and off different games. I gained some traction. I went from 0 because everyone starts at 0. You go from 0 and you go somewhere. But to keep that and to grow it, you need to do a lot more. And Twitch is never the starting point. It's always the end game. Generally, what you want to do as a creator, right? To expand on like something that you said before, was like you have to, like, people having teams and all this crazy stuff, like that never starts out that way. Like, unless you've got money to burn, you're not gonna be the guy that's gonna go on fucking Fiverr and be like, hey, I'm looking for a team for me to hire. Like, you're not gonna start a business. If you got money like that, hit me up. Hit me up. Real. Hit me up if you got money like that, because I don't got money like that. I ain't hiring people. I mean, I've commissioned people, but I'm not hiring people. That's not happening.
Yeah, for real. So not for a long ass time.
Nah, for real. So you really just start. You got to start.
You start from the trenches, and you
gotta create content.
You gotta build.
You gotta build
by yourself.
You have to be. Content creation is about being visible any and everywhere you can be. You have to be posting content that is valuable to an audience. You think about, you go to a movie, right? You pay for the movie, but what the fuck are you paying for a movie for? Simple.
To see a good movie. To see a movie.
Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
You pay for entertainment, right? You don't go and like just wave $10 at a clerk to be like, here, take fucking $10, bro. Like, whatever, I'm walking out. Like, no one does that. No one fucking does that shit. You know, you go and you pay $10 and you go in there for the attraction. So it's the same thing, right? You go in, you are the attraction. People are going and logging on to YouTube, whatever the fuck platform, Twitch, to go and see what you have to provide for them. You have to provide something for them. And that's how I've always tried. That's how I found my niche for content. And for those who don't know, I didn't mention this earlier, but my niche in content, right, is I like to talk about topics within video games. I like to talk about informative pieces. I like to talk about shit, right?
As you can tell.
Like, if I'm talking, I'm chatting, I'm all over the place. But this is literally what it's about, right? This is why we started this in the first place, because we know how to bring these thoughts forward. And
see, it's funny because you do a lot of the talking. I just kind of I
don't mean to take that away. Like, no, listen, okay,
cool. Bro, listen. I am more than okay with you doing a lot of the talking. You know why? Is because I will add my 2 cents, and when I feel like it's my turn to speak and I can add something of value, then shit.
Listen, feel free to interject, because this is as much as it is your show as it is mine. So please don't. I don't want no one feel like it's like the worst thing is like, it's like I'm in here and like my fucking dick is like bam, and then you're just like okay, his dick is on the table. What the fuck do I do with this shit now? Like,
Nah,
what
for
do I
real.
do with this? Like, this man's got his fucking 10-inch fucking meat on the table, and it's just like, oh, okay. I guess you're running the show. That no, it's not like that. I'm not doing that. Fuck out of here. Um,
Oh, that's funny.
um, but yeah, it always starts somewhere else. You have to have a place of where you can have sustainable content that people can refer to, and there's a lot of different platforms for this nowadays.
Absolutely.
Try getting, you get content going where people can just literally source from it. Twitch is not that. All right.
No.
You might have VODs, right? You might have people posting clips and separate content on Twitch, but it's not as easily accessible. You have to really kind of like ask someone where to look for it.
You gotta dig, and it's
You
just
got to
not.
dig.
It's not like
You got to dig.
it's not like YouTube
Yeah.
and I would say, and this is crazy, right? Because TikTok didn't exist for the longest time.
Oh no.
So where the fuck was we posting? We was posting a lot of shit on YouTube, man.
Yeah. And
All
remember,
of it.
kids before TikTok, there was Musically. Then before that, there was Vine,
Yep.
and a lot of people got crazy off of those platforms,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
talking about some of those cats that got popular in the Vine days are now actors, actresses,
Yep.
which is insane
Uh,
to think about.
this is no, this is the most infamous example of that. But the Paul brothers, they got their start on Vine. For those of you that didn't know where they came from Vine.
Yeah, that was Vine.
And they
King
actually used to
Bach,
be King Bach,
King Bach's another one.
Vader
Vader.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Do- Now, Dope Island.
Dope
Dope
Island.
Island.
Yeah, it is. I
Love
mean,
Dope.
listen.
Now,
It,
Dope Island, Meech on Mars, aka Demetrius Harmon from Detroit. I'm from Michigan, for anyone that doesn't know. Not from Detroit though. So I gotta, gotta show out.
gotta show
But
out.
it's a lot of people don't get their start on Twitch, and
Nope.
that's just how it is.
It's extremely
And
rare if
and the
you
people that
start
do
there.
get and the people that do start there, and they actually, I can name only I can probably count on one hand the amount of people that have started on Twitch and got big on Twitch without doing much else. And the first person I think of is Dizzy. That's like it.
And you see, I didn't even know that was an actual thing. But
Well, because like remember when Apex was like season 0 and that came out
mm,
and everybody was on that bitch, Tim, and all them. Like Dizzy was, he was the guy.
yep.
And I never heard of him. I mean, he might have made YouTube content,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
I
Like
like and
everyone
it's
starts
like
somewhere.
and everyone, yeah, it's like, and you always think the big streamers like, where the fuck did they start out? And some of them you don't even know because a lot of their like super old content, that's all private. You can't see it.
Yeah, because I mean, some things just like are like like I've got
It's
sneaker
like in the
review videos.
archives.
I've got
Yeah.
sneaker review videos that are on my YouTube that are just unlisted, and I'm like, I'm not showing nobody that shit no more. That shit
Fuck
is,
no.
I don't want to. I don't even want to look at it myself. It's just like
Yeah,
I
no.
relook at it and I'm like, this is cringe.
It's
It's like you
fuck.
got to make the content that you would actually watch, that you would want to watch.
Like, yeah.
So
And
I'm not watching this shit.
that's my issue. That's shit. We can segue. We can segue this. This is why we can segue right into the mental part.
Hmm,
This is the biggest reason why I have such a hard time executing on my own content
okay.
is because I'm not even that picky when it comes to like the content that I watch, but for me to get to the point where I'm feel like, yeah, I would watch this and I would actually enjoy it.
Hmm.
But I know I'm not there yet, like skill wise, because I'm a person. So just for a reference point, the kind of content that I watch is like, and that I enjoy the most. Phase Jeff, he does a lot of cut. Basically, like he was like I would say the Godfather, so to speak, of cut commentary videos. Um, like then like so like him, like just stuff like that, like lightly edited, just talking about whatever, sort of like a mini podcast episode,
Yeah.
essentially. Then I mean, I watch Will because he's just funny as fuck. WillJayW, by the way, good friend of ours. If you
WillJayW
follow
got it.
at
Plug that
WillJayW
bitch,
on
bro.
Yeah, WillJayW on all the socials.
The
On Twitter
GOAT.
is WillJayW_. Follow the GOAT, bro. He's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
For real. Check him out. Also, Lifted 3 best montage on D2. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yes, sir, ski. Yes, sir, ski.
um,
Speak that truth. Let's go.
for real. But yeah, like it's his type of content,
Hmm.
a little more heftily Jesus Christ, I can't speak. A little more heavily edited. But it's still quality, and he has a funny personality.
Yeah, dude's a
So
personality, man.
for real.
Like not just naturally charismatic and always
Yeah,
always
absolutely.
vibing. Like, I mean, like there's like to expand on like the mental thing, right? And then I'm just gonna I'll interject with this, right?
Yeah.
So I for one, right, have battled with not like you not being able to stick to a certain thing that I liked recording or I liked making
Yeah.
content for because I didn't enjoy what I was doing. And I, you know, it's a trial and error thing. Like you got to try, you got to try, you got to try, you got to put stuff out. And the problem with putting stuff out is that a lot of people are going to try, right? And they're never going to put anything out because they're never satisfied, right? You have to start somewhere. You have to just throw it. You gotta kind of just like, you know, like it's like take a football game, right? Say you're at the fucking, I don't know, you're at the 30-yard line. It's fucking you know, it's 3rd and 20 and you're about to get fucking sacked. You can either take the fucking sack and take the L, or you could throw the fucking ball in the air and see what happens. What you gonna do? What's gonna eventually have the better outcome?
I feel like the better analogy there is
Probably a bad one. I'm not, you know, football's not my.
3rd and long is a 3rd and long is a very it's a listen, if you're 3rd and long, just for anybody that doesn't play football, if you're there's 4 downs per possession before you turn it over. If you're on 3rd and long, 3rd and anything longer than 10 and you're on your own 30 and you're gonna get sacked, just take the sack. Just take the sack. Especially if you're on the 30, just take the sack, just get the field goal, call it good.
Oh
If
shit! I should have
if
used
you're
a better sport. I should have used something I'm more familiar with, like baseball.
now I'll stick to a football analogy. Say you're on 4th and short, you're inside the red zone, meaning you're inside your own 20-yard line, and the game is on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You can either go the safe route, you can kick your field goal, and pray that you recover on the onside, or you take a shot to the end zone. What's the worst that can happen?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's a lot of bad scenarios that can happen,
Yeah.
but you don't know if you don't do it. And that's just the whole thing.
That's
It's
the whole
like
thing.
you can record and you can edit all you want, but if you don't put anything out, if you don't take the shot,
You
and
should
I'm
say
really
suck.
speaking to myself here out loud. You can record all the footage you want. You can edit all of the footage to that you recorded all you want, and you can formulate, you can concoct, you can throw all of these good ideas together.
Yeah.
But if you don't post it, it's all for naught.
It's all for naught. Yeah, like all right. So perfect example, right? And I'm gonna use you directly as an example, right?
All right,
There was
I'm
that
cool
video
with
that
that.
you made that I thought was fucking hilarious. It was you.
Oh
It was
my
a video of
goodness.
you, me, and Panda, right? You, me, and
Yeah,
Panda just talking shit on Apex, right? And you edited that and you put that out. I would have never known how funny as fuck that whole interaction was if you didn't fucking post it and did the thing you did to it. You see,
yeah,
that's the thing, right? Like again, it wasn't like a content that you made personally. It was collective content because like it was made up of all of us. But at the end of the day, you took the footy and you made it into content. So it is your creation. So the thing is like, number one, we'll circle right back to you got to make content, right? Twitch streaming doesn't blow up in a day. You're not going to get 30, 40, 50, 60, 75 viewers in a week. It's not going to happen. You got to make the people come to you, and the
it's
people got to have a
impossible.
reasons. The people got to
Yeah.
have a reason to come to you, right? So figure out what the reason you're going to give them and execute on that. And that's drawing right into content creation. You got to go choose a platform, stick to it, and then branch out to other platforms. You got to start somewhere where there's literally content that people can draw back from, that they can gather value from. So TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter more so for interacting and connecting through communities, right? Because that's very important.
Yes, 100%.
And I'm missing one here. I'm missing one here.
No, you're not.
YouTube, TikTok. Those are the main ones, right?
Those are the big. I would say that's the big four. Right
That's the
there.
big
I
four,
would
right?
say out of those two, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube.
Yeah.
Those are going to be your big three
YouTube.
in terms of
Excuse me. Instagram used to be a big
that's
place for it, but I feel like it's on the
yeah.
down. It's on the downslide now.
I mean, like obviously, there's still some like I guess like dedicated gaming accounts that are ran by like people, and that's their own account, and
Yeah.
it's not just like clips of random shit.
Mhm.
But that is so very few and far between
I
that
think the other
it's
platforms are just way better suited for
for yeah,
content, for gaming
absolutely.
content.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I
Yeah,
mean, I do
especially
follow
YouTube.
I now I that's not to say that I don't follow a couple of people that do like exclusive gaming content.
Yeah.
It's specifically Destiny, but gaming content nonetheless on Instagram, but that's it.
Yeah, like Instagram
Um,
was crazy back in the day for Destiny content. Are you kidding me? Like
dude,
FPS
Ralph?
Crystal,
Ralph?
Ralph,
Come on
Haitian
now.
Guardian. You got FPS Crystal, who was
Yeah.
heavy on Instagram back in the day.
I didn't even know about that. I'll be honest with
Yeah,
you.
I found this out through the other another creator,
Who's
who
that?
was heavy. Nagi was heavy on Instagram because of Little Light
Nagi?
Radio. Yeah,
Really?
that's how I met the dude, honestly.
That's
And
wild.
again, I'm gonna go right back to the beginning of the episode. That whole everything happens for a reason. If it wasn't for Nagi, I would have never met none of y'all
That's
on some real
insane.
shit.
That
Because
is
not
insane.
Nagi introduced me. It was because of Nagi that I got introduced to Will and Will
Mhm.
streaming his content, and it was because of that. This is again, it all connects,
Why
bro.
we're here.
It all connects. It's
That is
crazy.
insane.
But
I
yeah,
didn't know
bro.
about I found out about Ralph. I don't even remember when. Like the only
I knew
like
about Ralph for
the
so long, man.
who do I follow on Instagram that's Destiny content? Evolved Jedi, he's an Xbox player.
Okay.
I follow Gravity from do you know who Gravity is?
I've heard the name around. Yeah, I think I've
Yeah.
seen him on Twitter.
Yeah. He's not super prevalent on Twitter. Like his presence isn't there as
Mm,
much as it is on Instagram.
yeah.
But there's Evolved Jedi, Gravity, and then Ralph. I
I
think
mean,
that's it.
the one of the biggest ones there is Ralph,
Absolutely.
Haitian Guardian on Instagram.
Ha-
I think almost everywhere
Huge.
now. But
Yeah.
super huge, man. Super huge. He's been
God,
doing
yeah,
that for a really long time.
90 plus K on IG right now. Definitely
Hmm.
dipped out in followers, but he's still got
Yeah.
a lot for gaming content.
But
But
it just draws to, like, you got to make the content, and then the most difficult part, and this is the mental part. This is the most difficult part, is figuring out what kind of content you want to post, as we were talking about, and trying to find your niche. It's all about trial and error, and you got to take the time, and it's gonna be a lot of painful parts. There's gonna be a lot of pain where you're gonna be unsure. You're gonna post something, it's gonna flop. You're gonna focus on numbers. You're gonna dip in and out of these things. You're gonna be upset with yourself, but you have to almost go through all of these motions to be able to
Mhm.
figure things out. You see, I didn't know that creating Apex Legends content was going to be the thing that I wanted to do. I had to drop Destiny 2 content to figure out I wanted to make Apex Legends content. And that was the thing that worked for me. Being able to dive into a game, because I was doing the same kind of content. It just wasn't hitting with Destiny. I wasn't
Oh yeah,
enjoying
no.
myself with that game. I was going to enjoy myself more with Apex. There was more of a drive, and you can see
Oh
that there's
yeah.
more of a drive.
I can tell you are way happier making Apex content than you ever were making any of your Destiny content. Even
Right.
it doesn't matter how big it
And
got.
I still have my Destiny content up for those who want to see.
You gotta dig, but he's got. I
You can
mean,
see the
listen,
progress. You can see the progress
yeah,
going from the
like
bottom,
the Mask of Bakris video. Come on now,
and that one blew
Mask.
up.
That blew up.
That
No
blew
Time to
up.
Explain, that went pretty big.
Yeah, and it's
Not
like,
as big,
see,
but
and
it got
I can
there.
tell you the thought processes behind those videos, right? The Mask of Bakris video, I had a lot of fun creating. I
Oh,
had a
yeah.
lot of fun
It
doing that
looked like
because
fun.
it came to me really easy, right? And that was the thing it was almost like a tease, right? And that's the thing that kind of upset me after the fact, because
Yeah.
the clips that I used for that video came to me very naturally. They came to me very quickly. It was very easy to record. And then when I was making it was just like I threw it together in like maybe 5 minutes, and I threw it up there. And it was kind of like a chance kind of thing. It was just like, you know what? I'm gonna throw some silly fucking TikTok music over some stupid fucking clips that were not even really like heavily edited, and then just throw it out there. And then I wake up the next morning, and I've got like fucking 100 fucking notifications on my phone, on my TikTok app, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm bugging the fuck out. So I would have
But
never
it
known.
it works, and
It works.
it's so crazy
It's the
because,
simplest shit.
and I think that's just the irony of it
Mm-hmm.
is, for example, that the video that Haste referenced earlier, that of that interaction, it is on my TikTok, by the way, at DJZ underscore. If you'd like to see it. And that video took me a grand total of about 12 to 14 hours to edit over like 3 days. And that video fucking flopped hard. That video shit the bed in the algorithm in the worst kind of way. The first like I'll pull up my TikTok right now. My first the first like 2 or 3 TikToks that I uploaded, shut up. The first 2 TikToks that I uploaded was of my first 7th column in momentum control. That popped the fuck off. The second one of Yumi and Panda playing arenas, and I was fucking around on Rampart trying to do challenges to get rank 110 in season 9. And I was using the Devo.
Oof.
Yeah. And just my stupid ass laughing. Both of those popped off. The
Yeah.
first one got what? 60 likes. Second one got 30 some odd. Both of them hit the algorithm heavy, got damn near 1,000 views on both of those apiece.
Mm-hmm.
Those took me a grand total of like 5 minutes, maybe 7, to put the text to it.
And this
The
is
most difficult part was to get it from, like, I had to upload it onto
mm-hmm.
the desktop,
Yeah.
or I had to upload it to the website directly, and then I put it on my phone, and then I did all the shit to it, and then I put it back up publicly.
Yeah.
That was the most time consuming part. But in the grand scheme of it, I did absolutely nothing to those videos,
Yeah.
and they did that well. And something that
It'd
I
be the
spent,
simplest shit.
it really does. It's wild. It's just it's such
It really is. I mean,
it's
to be fair, right? You're gonna go through growing pains, right?
always.
So you're gonna make a simple piece of content. It might, might pop off, might go through the algorithm. But there's one thing that I want to urge people, anybody who's watching this, is in the beginning, you need not to focus on numbers. I tell people all the time, if you're gonna stream on Twitch, hide your view count. Act like there's always 100 people watching. Always be interactive, talk, because you never know who's coming in for the first time. And if me personally, right, like, think about who you are as a viewer, because every streamer is a viewer, right? So when you go into a channel and all you see is the person playing the game, and no one's talking, and it's just mute, and the chat's not moving, and there's nothing happening, all
Mhm.
that makes me want to do is, what am I doing here? I'm gonna close the stream and be like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go play the game. Like, whatever. Like, I got the game too. Like, I'm gonna go look for Apex Legends streamers, and you're just gonna sit there. I'm gonna go play the game. Give me a reason to be in there and stay. Like, you got to be talking, doing something, right? And again, this is something I struggle with still to this day. You got to be doing something. Be engaging, right? But the thing is that where I was really going with this is just like, you gotta just, it could be the simplest shit, right? When we grow, We take the simple that we've done and we try to expand upon it. And when you try to do something like that, you're gonna hit some roadblocks. You're gonna go in through some learning experiences. See, like the video that you made that I thought that was, I again, hilarious, right? I still look at that. I could pull it up right now and I'd be like, that shit is funny, bro. That shit is funny as fuck. Like us three talking. I mean, again, granted, it was us three in the interaction, so we obviously gonna see that it's funny because it was us. But it took you 10 plus hours to do that shit because you decided to do something different and you decided to learn and execute on something you learned that's brand new. See, growth isn't going to come easy. If you continue to just do the simple, hoping that it's going to pop off, you're never going to excel. You're never going to get anywhere. So again, you see that with every content creator. These are the things that we go through. You have to, like, you start somewhere. Like, I started with Destiny 2 content. I was posting some simple shit. And then I was like, you know what? That Mask of Bacchus video, that popped off. Let me do similar things like this. I tried to do something similar. The clips didn't come as easy. I had off days gaming. Now, it didn't take me a day to get those clips. Now it's taking me 3-4 days to get these clips. I want to keep posting content. I don't want to miss out on, like, I want to keep going. I want to keep the steam rolling while I got it. While I got this feel-good energy within me to do it. I want to keep going, and it just doesn't always work out that way. So you got to figure out what it is that you can do. So what I started doing, I started editing a little bit more. I started figuring out, like, oh, what's going to be my niche? What's this? What's that? Then I started to, like, all right, I was heavy watching montages at the time. I'm like, you know what? Let me do some little bit of montage work. So I started to learn a little bit about, like, editing and stuff. And then I started to, like, gather all my clips and then started doing montage. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I enjoy doing this. It's awesome. Post that. And it's hit or miss. But again, it's growth. It's stuff. You put it out into the world, and that stuff, like, someone's going to enjoy that. Someone's not going to enjoy it. It is what it is. Right? But you have to create. Content creation is what it is. It's the job description is in the title. Create content. Furthermore,
it doesn't matter what you create. It doesn't matter where you put said creations. You just do it.
Yeah, you do it. You have to do something. You have to put that shit out. And in doing that, you're going to discover more things about yourself that are going to further grow your content. And, you know, it took me a long time to realize that it was just always, for me, I'm a hardworking kind of guy. I want to produce. I want to productivity. Go, right? I want to do, right? But without cemented direction that you would get, like, let's say, at a job, right? Without that cemented direction, it's hard to, like, direct yourself to go somewhere. It's hard to, like, set goals and then, like, attack it. At least for me, it is. For some people, it's just like,
oh no, I fully relate to that. I'm the kind of person with the undiagnosed ADHD person that has fleeting thoughts. You have to, if I come up with something, like, I literally yesterday morning I had an idea of, like, oh, I could do this for Iron Banner because I realized Iron Banner was out. Like, oh, do typical, little Iron Banner package video. Because I had previous footage recorded from the last time it was out.
right.
Never did anything with it. I'm like, okay, maybe I could expand on this with more of the same and just edit out the boring shit, edit out whatever that's garbage, and then, whatever gems that I get,
Yeah.
show that off. So I wrote it down, but now I'm just like, is it something I really want to do? Because as well as I do, I haven't played Destiny in a minute.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough
it's tough because,
it's
like,
tough trying to figure, when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, it's tough. I mean, again, for someone who's, like, gotten past that phase, I always encourage people to just try different shit. Like, I tried doing the stupid Mimi videos. I tried doing the montages. I tried, and I finally landed on the informative content, spoken word kind of content. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick to this. This is going to be what I'm doing. This is what I like doing this. You
Yeah.
know, granted, I don't like hearing myself talk, but
It fits you. It suits you well.
when I know something I know how to do well, and I can edit it and I can come up with these ideas, even if I'm talking shit. Like I just posted a fucking video about solo versus squads, and I doubted the fuck out of this because I was like, I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. After watching the recording, I was like, I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like I'm crazy. I feel like this is shitty content. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put it out there anyway. I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna do it. And and it's you just put it out there. It's you talking about a topic. People may relate to it. People may not. It may pop off. It may not. Fuck it. But
Yeah,
as
who
long as
cares?
you've gotten to that point where you figured it out, you put the content out. And that's it's just a thing, a mental thing that it's like you have to just do.
Yeah.
Bring what your strong suits are as a person and bring that to the forefront. And that goes full circle from what you said earlier about you not wanting to be in the forefront so much. And the typical form of content creation may not be your forte. But I guarantee you if you have if you have the resilience enough to figure it out, to figure out where you fit in that world, and you execute on those ideas, bro, you'll get there. You'll get there. Because again, I wanted to preface earlier about the whole manager thing where there was always the manager who was always stuck in the limelight. I never finished this thought, by the way, earlier. There was always the manager that was always stuck in the limelight, always having conversations with people. But then the people doing the real work, the hard work, are the people who you know who they are, but you never know what they look like. You never interact with them. You never know who's pulling the strings. And that was always we had a company CEO and then we had a company DM, right? The marketer guy. And the marketer was the guy that everybody saw. Everybody thought that he was the owner, but it was his brother who was working behind the scenes, pulling all the strings, making all the big decisions.
Yeah.
And that always appealed to me. It's like, damn, I hold all the power, but you can't fuck with me? That's awesome. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be heard. I want to be heard, but I don't want none of the flair.
No, yeah.
So it's like that was always so appealing to me. It was like, damn, it's a power grab, but damn, I can lay in the shadows and still be that guy.
That's a power move right there.
That's a power move. That's crazy. That's I mean again, running your own business, that's how it is. But in content creation, it's just less apparent. It's less apparent. I feel like there's places for it. I feel like there's definitely 100% places for it. I would still be searching for places for it. Like you imagine all the people behind the scenes, right? Like in esports, let's just say people who are organizing tournaments. You know any tournament organizers' names? Off rip. Give me names. We don't know these people.
No.
But without those people, you ain't seeing fucking what's his face win $3 million in solo Fortnite. You're not seeing that.
Oh yeah, no, you ain't seeing none of that.
And those guys are just as important as the creators going to the events that they organize.
Literally, and we can talk. Honestly, that's another episode right there. Esports, man.
Esports. Write it down. Write it the fuck down.
Get
the fucking book. You two gonna play with me? Shit.
Get the goddamn cat. Get my notes out. Let me get my notes.
Shit, you already know what it is.
Wait. Podcast. I don't have a podcast folder. I'll make a podcast folder. It's okay.
Listen, I'll just write in this book real quick so we don't forget my pretty ass handwriting. I'm gonna close that right there. All right, but
everything always comes full. It always comes full circle.
Yeah, man.
Especially when it comes to content creation,
bro. And you just, I mean, at the very beginning, again, my full recommendation for this is, if you're in the beginning stages, don't rely on Twitch as your primary thing. Streaming should not be your primary thing. If at anything, I have seen creators go from streaming 8-9 hours a day, 6 days a week, to doing it for 3 days and then learning that they had to make content elsewhere and taking more time on making that content elsewhere. A big example of this kind of thing working was brother Enoch, Apex streamer.
Oh yeah.
He was great gamer, insane on the roller, right?
Grinded.
Grinded, but you know how he got super big like he is right now? TikTok. He went
Yep.
and start going crazy, creating content for TikTok. Now he's the godfather of Apex TikTok. And you know what? All of that shit translates over. People come from the TikTok over to the
Straight
stream.
into it.
I was watching while I was waiting for my new controller to come in today. I
Watching
was
Enoch.
watching Enoch play some ranked, and I tell you right now, at least 15 to 20 people came into the chat during the time that I was watching, be like, "Hey, yo, Enoch, your tips on TikTok really helped me, man. I came from TikTok. I'm over here on Twitch coming to see you." Same thing, 15 to 20
Mhm.
times during
It's
the
crazy,
hour that
man.
I watched him. And it's
Yeah.
nuts. But it's literally a living testament to like say, all right, boom, you gotta create content elsewhere. You gotta start
Twitch.
somewhere else.
So
Um,
it's always the thing of Twitch is the end game, and
yeah.
now this is the now this is just to say if you don't if you're not if you don't plan on taking content creation seriously, obviously do whatever the fuck you
Oh,
want.
100%.
Now, but this is more for the people that are in the interest of making this less of a side hustle and more of a main hustle.
Yeah.
And and with that being said, Twitch, as we said before, Twitch is the end game.
Yeah.
Title of the episode, by the way, Twitch is the end game.
Which is the end game.
It's never the starting point
Yeah.
for a serious content creator. Now it might be, but then you got to backtrack, and that's how it was for me.
And it's just hard because like a lot of people, the appeal of Twitch is like you see what the big creators are doing and you
It's
want to emulate that.
exactly.
You want to do the same thing that what they're doing, right? And
Mhm.
you want to do the same thing and you see them entertaining and interacting and it's just it's hard. You can't really emulate that. These people have thousands of people watching them and you may have your shorty
You
and your
might
best
not
friend
even
in there.
you might not even have 1,000 friends on Facebook, let alone 1,000 people watching you play video games,
Right.
listening to music at the same time currently.
Right. So it's just it's rough to really just start there. I mean, you could get content rolling there. Like if you want to do it for fun, then you do it
Absolutely.
for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like
Who gives a
again,
fuck? Like, who
I
cares?
yeah, again, like and it's like, you know, if you game for fun, if you don't like want to take it seriously, if that's not something you want to pursue, then like by all means, then do what,
Do
you
what
know,
it is that makes you happy.
do what yeah,
Don't
go for it.
don't do what other people are telling you to do. Do what
Go
it is
for it.
that makes you happy.
But in
And if
this
that's what gets you big, then that's even
then you
better.
won. You won the game of life.
Exactly.
You won the game of life. Doing what you love to do and just doing it because it's fun, and then you win at that. Like that's what you end up doing. You
That's
won at
that's
life. You need to do
that's
nothing
the end
else.
game.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the end game.
Exactly, and that is it.
That's the end game. I mean, I I've been trying to do it again, and it's like it's difficult because there are times where I'll stream and I have goals in mind, and if I don't meet those goals, I get upset. And it goes from doing one thing that I'm like, okay, this is something that I'm happy doing, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, damn, I fucked up today. I took
Mhm.
something that's supposed to be a fun thing for me to do, and I made it unfun. And that's the whole mental part about it too. That we were getting into earlier. It's just like it's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough to be there and to actually give a shit about the things that you're doing, and not think critically on yourself about it.
Yeah.
And again, that's all about like trying to find out what kind of content you want to post, and like posting in other, posting on all the social media platforms that you're exposing yourself to. It's
Mhm.
really difficult mentally keeping up with all of that stuff, um and just trying to create and trying to like keep yourself in a space where you can create, because a lot of times sometimes it just doesn't hit.
And all that's to say this, content creation in itself is not difficult. However, creating content is difficult. Not Does that make any sense?
Now
Or
run
am I
that
just
by me
talking out
again, because you kind of lost me a little bit. I'm not even gonna
am
hold
I
you.
talking out of my ass, or am I saying some
Maybe,
shit?
I don't know, because you said
Let me
creating content is difficult, but then what you said before that, I don't know what you say before
okay,
that.
so content
Wait a minute.
creation is not a difficult thing, but creating content
Okay, so I
is
can see what you
difficult.
mean. We could
Okay,
dissect
so
that. So
content
go.
creation in
Yeah,
itself is not difficult. Streaming on Twitch, that's not difficult. That's extremely easy, actually,
yeah.
but it's not.
So
It's
so we
easy, but it's not.
it depends on the person. I can rephrase your thing by saying like maybe streaming is easy, content creation is difficult.
Streaming might be easy to the average person, but it takes a lot of mental energy.
Well,
And
for the people who care. And that's
yes,
the thing. It's for the people who care, because it's super easy to download OBS on a computer that you can that you know supports it, right? It's easy to throw money, get a computer in your
yep,
house,
yep,
connect
yep,
all
yep,
that shit going, right? Download the
yep,
program, download your game, hit the start streaming button after you learn how to do all that stuff, and it's super easy to get that
and
done.
then you just and
Stupid
blast
easy.
off.
And blast off. Stupid easy to do it.
Abs But to give a shit like we do,
Yeah, but to give a
it's
shit.
not.
To give a
That's
shit about wanting to grow, to impact
and
people, to give things of value to people, that stuff's not easy, dog.
that's the hard part. Okay, now let me ask you this, and you can ask me the same question.
Mhm.
What is the single thing that got you into streaming specifically? What made you hit the go live button for the first time? Was it D1?
Seeing my boys do it and seeing them connect to people that I now consider, like, thinking about it in retrospect, that I now consider to be close friends. Seeing them connect to people and then having them being very appreciative of what they were doing starting out really
Mhm.
made me want to just go and hit the button, because I saw them doing good things for
Mhm.
people that they didn't know, that they had no idea who they were. It was a name on a screen
Oh
and a
yeah.
voice in an ear. Like
Yep.
doing things that, like creating community, like I thought that was dope as fuck. I thought that
Oh
was the
yeah.
dopest thing in the fucking world. I again, the
Absolutely.
thing that makes me go like a better question might be, what keeps you hitting the go live button?
Now that's a good follow-up.
That's a good follow up. Now, what keeps me hitting the go live button
Mhm.
is the fact that if I keep hitting that button, the story that I tell all the time to everybody is that one day a member of our community hit me up late at night, stressed out about life issues,
Yeah.
and told me, that I'll sum it up, that that he was very appreciative of what me and my two boys were doing, cultivating this community, allowing him to have friends where he didn't have friends IRL at home. I'm assuming that it really like saved his life. And
Now, how long when was this, like,
this was, it's gotta
what year
be, I
was
want to
this?
say 2015, 2016.
Okay.
We had a Destiny clan, which I took really seriously. My boy Doom and Messiah, those were the Trials carry guys. But
Now
when
which clan was this? Was this, basically gods or
this was the Lucid Nightmare,
okay.
which this still lives on to this day.
Yeah. Lucid
Um,
Nightmare still exists.
yeah. Now, do we exist as a Destiny clan anymore? No.
No.
But as a collective, as a group of friends that met for these impactful reasons, it's still a thing, 100%.
Mhm.
And you know, we had a clan of we had like 40 people in this clan, and I took leadership of the clan. And the fact that it was me plus my two boys doing trials carries, the combination of everything was just very community building, and a lot of people were just like, this is an awesome place. We get on Destiny every day, every week, to hang with the boys, and it's like a family. We got our own little family collective going on here.
Yeah.
And it was just like hearing the impact of what I did, and I did this naturally because it was just like, I think this is cool as fuck. Was just it snapped in my head that, okay, this is something, this is my legacy. Leaving something behind for people to remember you by, that was of value. Like, if you encounter somebody, like there are people out there that they walk by somebody, you know, you were having a shit day, right? And let's just say on your shit day, your book bag rips open and your books fall out, and someone just like comes by, you know, let's say you're living in a bad place part of the city, and you know nobody's gonna come and fucking help you, but you got that one person that turned the corner that came over and helped you, and you never forget that. You never forget that person. You never, for whatever reason, personally, whatever, you never forget that person. It's just, it's such a heavy thing that I felt that I was like, this is the imprint that I want to leave on people. Like, if you come by my stream and you hear me talk and we have some sort of, and you gather something from that conversation, or you you see me do some goofy shit or whatever the fuck it is, and that leaves an imprint on you, I did my life's work. That's what it is for me. So what made me hit the go live button? Creating, see my boys do it. What keeps me doing it? Community building and hopefully having an impact on people. That's what keeps me doing it, for real, for real.
That's what's
now,
up.
Let's circle it back. I spit that right back to you. Yeah. Why do you hit that go live button?
So what made me hit the go live button the first time?
Yeah.
I'll be real with you. It was the reason I started streaming was because of a bad breakup.
Okay. That's a lot to unpack there, brother. Shit.
Yeah, I'll keep it concise.
Okay.
So you notice my shorty right now, we've been dating for a minute. We used to date when I was a freshman in college. She was a senior in high school. We were on and off for about 8 months. We had a convo the weekend that Assassin's Creed Odyssey had came out.
Okay.
Very specific weekend, I know.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out sometime earlier in that week. We had talked on that Sunday. Was coming from the GameStop. I was on my way home. I hit her up like, "Hey, can we talk?" I go immediately from the store to the place that she was at. We talk for a while. I basically kind of got the vibe like she was not having it.
Yeah.
That's what I read from the body language, the facial expressions, just all that.
Yeah, you just know something's up.
Something was up, but I didn't know, and she was not gonna budge, and I just had to be okay with that. Then a few weeks later, I saw some shit on her Snapchat, and that really sent me over the edge, and pretty much all I did from that time. Black Ops 4 came out pretty recently after all of that stuff, and that was like all I was doing was playing that game. That's like all I did. The first weekend it came out, I just sat there and played Black Ops 4, and I spent I had a class I had like a 9 a.m. or an 8 a.m. class. The Monday after it came out, I stayed up the entire night to to Prestige to like 7 a.m.
Okay.
And I went to my class for like an hour. I was falling asleep in my chair in class.
Fucking dedication.
And I left early.
Oh
shit. And I went home. And
did some more Black Ops.
I don't remember what I don't remember what I did when I got home. I might have slept. I might have played more. I don't remember. But that was like all I was doing was playing Black Ops 4. So I was like, I got nothing else better to do, and this is all I'm doing with my time. And I had watched Twitch before, like back in the D1 days, like Professor Broman, Gathalion, Prodigy, Rage Cinema,
Mm-hmm.
all those guys. I watched a lot of. Like, let me try Twitch, and that was first stream was sometime October, November. Um, and that was that. And I played Black Ops 4 for quite a long time, for a couple months actually. Uh, and then I switched to Rocket League, and that's where I got the bulk of my followers, and pretty much the rest is history from there.
Got you.
Got
So
affiliated
so
in
you
March of
basically started because like would you say it was like it helped you cope with something
yeah.
that you were doing that something difficult that happened to you?
It helped keep me distracted.
Okay.
It was the game was already keeping me distracted
Mm,
enough because I was having a good time with it,
yeah.
and I was just like, "Let me just try to, you know, just see where this happens,
Mm-hmm.
see where this goes." Because I had a few friends that I used to hang out with a lot because I hung out in Tim the Tatman's Discord a ton, and I had some people that we made our own little thing, so those guys watched me, and
That's dope.
they
That's
hel
really cool.
they helped me a lot. Um But yeah, that was what made me hit the go live button for the first time,
So
which is
what keeps you doing it to this day
what
now?
keeps me going.
Yeah, what keeps you doing it?
I don't know if it's insanity at this point
Okay.
or if
That's
it's
raw as fuck. I'm just gonna put that out there. That's raw as
yeah,
fuck.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm gonna keep it a bug. Like right now, at this very moment, I don't know what keeps me going anymore.
Okay.
But just something in me just keeps telling me just do it. Like
See, and that's a testament right there. Like you like to anyone who views this or watches it. It's a big testament to how even though that we're here talking about the difficulties, we're still going through them ourselves. So you can't you can't ever say that
you can't discount this
you
for
can't
real. Like
discount this.
I'm not bullshit. I'm not talking
No.
out of my ass
Mm-mm.
just to do it.
Because we even got
But
to, like I know like what keeps me going, and there are days where I don't even want to turn on the PC for real, like, but you tell yourself like you know what, there's a little thing in there like you can't, you just got to keep going, you got to keep going. My
it's
thing was is it's just like I can't give up on something that I genuinely love doing. Like there's always been that one constant in my life, always been gaming. It's always been
yeah,
gaming.
always.
And I've picked up, getting into sneaker culture, obviously. I picked up getting into fashion. I picked up getting into business, skateboarding, baseball. I've picked up and tried and tasted so much shit, and there's only been one thing since I've been a kid that has never left me, that I've never fallen out of love with, and it's gaming.
Mhm.
And even to this day, it drives me insane at times. It definitely, now that I'm like deep into the shit, it drives me
Yeah,
fucking insane sometimes.
yeah.
But it's because I give a shit. It's because it's like this is what I want. So I
Yeah,
care so much about it
absolutely.
that it's gonna drive me nuts. But
Yeah,
again,
yeah, that's raw shit. That's real shit. Like
yeah. Uh-huh.
whatever like I've spent damn near 4 years doing this shit. Like
And it's no,
I've almost been an affiliate for 4 years now.
can't stop, man. I mean,
And
again,
like
it's the growing pains.
it is, and what's fucked up is I've seen people like start streaming way after me. They're already
Hmm.
partnered. Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And
But
what are
that
they
is that
doing right?
you gotta, yeah,
And
you gotta remember that's not a reflection on you.
yeah,
It's
and
just it's not.
that's the hardest part.
Mm.
That's and that's why I almost say like what is it that keeps me going? Is it a testament to my stubbornness, or is it a testament to how fucking crazy I can be? And I don't know which is which.
The
'Cause
fact I wanna leave you, and leave our viewers with one thing in response to that. To those two things you said, it's neither. And you know why? It's because you haven't discovered what makes you really tick in this world. You got, and that's gonna go for a lot of people. Again, I didn't figure, I didn't figure it out. Again, I sit here and I talk up all this game like I got it all fucking figured out. I still don't got it all fucking figured out.
Now, just as a reference point, there is a bit of an age gap between us.
I'm 31 motherfucking years old.
And I'm 22.
I'm 31 motherfucking years old.
So you're gonna see a big difference in perspective between the two of us, but
And
it's
healthy as fuck.
absolutely. And hopefully, as much as I hope to give you value from my point of view, Haste, you give me the same value.
Let me tell you something, right? I've met some of the most mature people that I've met have been younger than me, and some of the most whiny kitty fucking people that I know have been older than me. Age ain't nothing but a motherfucking number that tells you how long you've been on this fucking planet. All right?
Yeah.
That maturity shit, all in the motherfucking head, bro. All in the head. It's all about what we've gone through, our experiences, and our perspectives. And let me tell you something. All right? As much as I tell myself I'm 31 and I'm an old fucker, I'm not getting any younger, right? You know what I'm saying? Like under this fucking hat here, because this gray hair is like literally right here in this spot. And I don't like that they there because it's showing at my age and my stress. But you know what? Let me tell you something. I vibe with a lot of people that are younger than me because that youthful spirit in me is never going to die. Never going to die. And that's why I vibe with all of you guys so fucking heavy because it's just like, again, some people that are in their early 20s are more mature than the people that are in their early 30s. It's fucking crazy. An age ain't number, but that's a whole other different fucking thing.
That's a topic for a different day.
100%.
That is definitely. I feel like that's a good place to leave off. There's definitely more that we could talk about. There's more that I would like to talk about, but
100%.
I think we are at a good place to leave it off.
I wanna summarize before we close out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's very simple. What we talked about a whole bunch of issues today, a whole bunch of different topics, kind of scattered. But I will say this one thing: content creation is not what everyone thinks it to be. On the surface level, it seems like it's a lot of fun. It seems like it can be very easy to get into. But if you're looking to take it just marginally serious, it is a very difficult thing mentally. It is a very it's a profession that if you get into it, it's a path that if you get into it, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and a lot of discovering. And if I got to offer any advice to any up and coming creators is number one, do the best that you possibly can to be yourself and let that shine in your content. Take time to figure it out what it is that you want to do. And by taking time, I mean test a whole bunch of shit out. And if you find something that you thoroughly really like to enjoy doing, and you know that you would rewatch that shit, stick to it, execute. Tunnel vision that fucking shit. And the last thing, don't ever forget to have fun.
Always.
Don't ever forget to have fun, because the minute you forget to have fun, it becomes just like another fucking job. It becomes another 9 to 5. And that's not what this is about. Content creation is more about living that dream than it is doing something for a 9 to 5. If you want a 9 to 5, go apply to Walmart or Amazon.
For real. No, for real.
Go do that.
And as a closing reminder, Twitch is not the end game.
Which is not the end game, y'all.
Which is not the end game. And I think that's a great place to end off.
Yes,
this has been the No Aimer Gamer podcast, where our shots are bad and our takes are worse.
Yep.
I've been DJZ.
Hastenuous, the greatest.
Yes, sir. And we out.
We out here.